man is back.
Oh, okay, boys. Oh my gosh, the man got that stuff. This is a 5 out of freaking 5.
It is beat making time.
Next week is E3 week. My album comes out next week.
I have the Lieberman.
This is your boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy Dash, the True Inferno. Back at it with another Pokemon Unite commentary video gameplay for you guys, and I'm not done with this whole Caitlyn Clark situation here, but we're gonna take a little detour here, but still stay in the realm that is Caitlyn Clark. Now we're gonna talk about something that is just ridiculous. It's actually really funny, and that is this: the fact that Sheryl Swoopes pretty much have some type of issue with Caitlyn Clark. Let's call it like it is. There's some type of issue that she had with Caitlyn Clark, and you know, she may say, "Oh no, I have a personal relationship with these women, Caitlyn Clark included." She may show text messages of her apologizing to Caitlyn, and Caitlyn responding, you know, with kind words and stuff like that. But it doesn't change the fact that you have some type of issue with her. Like, there's some type of issue with her. And it started while Caitlyn was in college. So let's get to that point. Earlier this year, while Caitlyn was still in college, because obviously the college game was still going on from the 2024-2025 season. I mean, the 2023-2024 season, excuse me, for men's and women's college basketball, and both ends in April. Then there's the draft for the men and the women. And then while the men is NBA, that is, because the NBA is going on at the same time, they done for the year. The women's will start after college ends. So Caitlyn can go from playing in college, being drafted, and then just go straight into WNBA, start playing. All that within the span of like what? 2 to 3 months, something along those lines. Whereas with the men's game, you play, you're in April, you get drafted in like June, and then you wait until September to play. So there's a long period of time from playing in college to playing in the NBA, as opposed to the women's game where you play in college, and then you get drafted right there, and then you start playing in the league, WNBA that is, right there. All that happens within the span of 2 months or so. So earlier this year, Caitlyn was still playing on the Iowa Hawkeyes, and she was in college. And here's what Sheryl Swoopes, who, and this ain't no just some random former WNBA player who didn't cheat. No, this is one of the greatest of all time. A multi-time champion, multi-time MVP winner, read the regular season finals. Like, yeah, she's like one of the greatest in WNBA history, in women's basketball history. But yet, she sounds so idiotic with these comments. It's ridiculous. Which is why people are saying she's hated. People are not calling her, well, I mean, like, there's rowdy fans who are going to call her stupid. But the real ones know she ain't stupid because of her resume, because of her career. It's just that it's hate. It's obvious hate. So let's get on with what happened earlier this year while Caitlyn Clark was still playing in college. On the Gilbert Arena show, Sheryl Swoopes said, I ain't going to say and I quote, but I summarized it real quick. Sheryl Swoopes said that Caitlyn Clark was in college for 5 years due to COVID, and then the following COVID year. So basically, Caitlyn been playing in college for 5 years. And I'm like, wait, that make no sense, because that make no sense for 2 reasons. Let's get the hypothetical reason out the way real quick. If Caitlyn was in college for 5 years, you basically implying that she played for 5 years, which we'll get to in a minute, which means that how could, like, it's one thing if COVID postpone a year or postpone play, okay, fine, so be it, but you saying that COVID forced you to stay another year to play, and I'm like, that's not what COVID did. If anything, when it comes to sports, COVID postponed it. COVID stopped you from playing. COVID didn't keep you in the league, or in this case, keep Caitlyn Clark in college to continuously play for another 2 years. That's not what happened. That's not how this works. That's not how COVID works in regards to COVID in sports leagues at the time, where they had to postpone it or cancel it. So right off the bat, she sounds idiotic right there. That's number one. And then we get to number two in a second. So because of that, this leads her to believe that Caitlyn Clark was basically 25 years old playing against 20 years old, women in college. And I'm like, you could just Google search Caitlyn Clark. There's no Ryan Caitlyn. Caitlyn Clark. And it would say, right, not her age. You don't have to type age in it. Just type in her name, Caitlyn Clark. And it'll show you right there, front and center. She's 22 years old right now. It's October. And she's 22 years old right now. And she was born on January 22nd, 2002. So how is it that she's 25 years old in college, but she's in the WNBA and she's 22 right now? Like, do you not, like, that make no sense? And then she also said in the same show that Caitlyn Clark took about 40 shots a game in college. And that's also incorrect because, well, depending on who you going at, who going off of. But it don't matter. The bottom line is this. Basically, whether it's this one website or another news article, whatever the case may be, but they all pretty much saying the same thing. Caitlyn Clark averaged 20 to 22 shots per game in college, which is around half of what you said she took a game, which is 40. 40 minus 2, or divided by 2 rather, is 20. That's half. So right off the bat, you sound idiotic right there. Now let's talk about the record. Chelsea Plum had this NCAA Division I career scoring record. Okay, she set that record in 4 years. It took her 4 years to set the record. Basically how long you normally would stay in college for 4 years. She accused Caitlyn Clark of being in college for 5 years. Again, going back to the whole COVID thing. And again, that's incorrect. Caitlyn Clark was in college for 4 years as well. Again, which explain how she's 22 years old and is in the league right now. WNBA, that is. If she stayed in college 5 years, she would be in college right now, and she wouldn't be out of college until 23, when she turned 23, which would be January the 22nd, 2025. We ain't there yet. So we're off the back again. Incorrect. So that's the second reason why the whole Caitlyn Clark with 25-year-olds playing against 20-year-olds is like so blasphemous. Oh, really? Because of the whole COVID year thing, 5 years in college part. Because again, I just said it. If she spent 5 years in college, she wouldn't get out of college until she was 23. And at this moment in time, she's 22, and yet she's in the WNBA. So, I mean, right off the bat, no. So, if anybody else, just about anybody else who used to play in the WNBA said these things, people would think they was dumb. Like, people would actually believe that they need to get their heads examined if this was just about any other WNBA player. But because this is Sheryl Swoopes, who is like a talent, was a talent in the league, and I already talked about her resume, her careers, and her achievements. And like anybody with a brain would know right now, she was too good in WNBA. She's too good in basketball to be looked at as a dumbass. Like, no, that's not the case here with Sheryl Swoopes. So that's why people quickly said, oh, she's hating. And yeah, that's what it is. She's hating. So let's fast forward, right? Okay. So we get to the point where we did the Olympics, and I already talked about that in my last video, how Caitlyn was snubbed out. But all of a sudden, Indiana Fever started winning games to the point where they went from a team with a losing record and was like near the bottom of the league to now they actually made the playoffs, and they made the playoffs in the middle of the pack. Like I think they had the 5th seed, I think. So that's a huge jump. So they obviously improved after the break, after the Olympics break. And here's what Sheryl Swoopes said in regards to that. After their game, and let me get this stats up before I move on here. After their game against the Seattle Storm, which I believe was played on either my birthday or the day before my birthday. No, it was played on my birthday. I was in Hawaii at the time, August 18th. But that's another story for another day. The FIBA won that game 92-75. Here was Sheryl Swoopes had to say in regards to that game. She said, and I'm not quoting here, but basically she was on the Queens of Court podcast. She was giving shout outs to Lexi Hall, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston. Now, you're probably wondering, who are they? Those are Caitlyn Clark's current teammates on the Indiana Fever. So what did they do? Well, let's see. What did they do? Okay, so let me see if I can find the exact quote real quick about what exactly they did. And I had the quote somewhere. I forgot. Oh, here it is right here. Here it is right here. Okay. So Fox Sports, they talk about that game. We're going to go to the third paragraph here. Kelsey Mitchell hit 10 of 19 from the field and 5 of 8 from three-point range to finish with 27 points. That's actually good. That's actually good. Well, and I believe, if memory says it correctly, Chelsea Mitchell was the game leading scorer. Yes, he was with that 27. He was the game leading scorer with 27. Moving on. While Lexi Hall was 8 of 10 shooting and hit a career best 6 threes on 7 attempts for the career high 22 points. Okay. She was their third leading scorer. You probably wonder who's the second. We'll get to that in a second. Moving on. Aaliyah Boston grabbed 15 rebounds to go with 9 points and a career high 8 assists for Indiana. Okay. So she was their lead leader in rebounding. She was their the game leader for their squad in rebounding. She was their fourth leading scorer in that game. And she was their second leading assist person. Now, who's the first in terms of assists? We'll get to that in a second. So, and that's all she said in terms of Sheryl Swoopes. That's all she said about the Fever in the, since that game. Well, here's the problem. Let's talk about what Caitlyn Clark did in that game, okay? Caitlyn Clark scored 23 points, so she was the second leading scorer for the Fever in that game. Got 9 assists. Again, she led the team in assists. And in fact, she had the most assists in that entire game, by the way. She also got 5 rebounds, which was good. But here's the most important thing about this. In that game, Caitlyn Clark broke the WNBA's rookie assist record. Yeah, with that 9 assists, I think she probably needed less than that, but she still broke the WNBA rookie assist record in that game right there. So at that point, she had 232 assists, breaking the record from Tika Pincheiro, who had 224 assists in her rookie year in 1998. And despite the fact that she broke the record, had 9 assists, which led everybody in that game, scored 23 points and got 5 rebounds, which is a very good stat line, Sheryl Swoopes did not mention her in terms of why the NM Fever had been balling the way they've been balling at that point. And I'm like, yeah, you deliberately did not mention Caitlyn Clark. Like, if you want to give shout out to her teammates, okay, that's cool, but you can't like just say those are the main reasons or those are the only reasons why. Like, you have to mention Caitlyn, especially since she's broke a record, another record. So this led to Stephen A. Smith going after Sheryl Swoopes because obviously the fact that she left out Caitlyn Clark, even though Stephen A. Smith didn't even mention the record, I'm probably sure he didn't know about it, but nevertheless, he didn't mention that Caitlyn Clark set a record in that game. But nevertheless, it still led him to believe that Sheryl Swoopes is hating Caitlyn Clark, which is what everybody else knew about. For those who covered the WNBA and been covering this fiasco involving Sheryl Swoopes. So this obviously got Sheryl Swoopes to go at Stephen A. They went back and forth with it to the point where Sheryl Swoopes called Stephen A. coward. Mostly because he wouldn't put her on his show, but nevertheless, she still called him a coward. Ironically, though, he did put her former friend, Nancy Lieberman, on his show to talk about Sheryl Swoopes and Caitlyn Clark. And here's how they became former friends. Because Lieberman, Nancy, called Sheryl Swoopes, going back to the Gilbert Arena show where I talked about how Sheryl Swoopes gave all these incorrect facts about Caitlyn Clark. And she was like, yo, these facts are incorrect. You kind of need to put out there that you made a mistake with these facts. And yet Sheryl Swoopes went off of her. And now they ain't friends anymore. Again, this was all, when that episode came out? The episode came out literally a month ago for me recording this, September 4th. So I don't know where their friendship is now regarding Nancy and Sheryl Swoopes. But at that point, September 4th, they were not on speaking terms. And I'm like, y'all not on speaking terms because Swoopes gave incorrect facts back in January and didn't want to, come out with an apology video or correct herself. I'm like, what? It's actually funny. But now what's going on is Sheryl Swoopes is saying that Caitlyn Clark haven't dominated at all this year. So the hate still continues. So and here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. There's a lot of issues with the WNBA right now. You would think because of the fact that Caitlyn Clark is here, got women their own private jets now, because she was like, what the heck? Women should have had their own private jets years ago, as opposed to them riding coach with every other civilian, which to me is ridiculous. The fact that they had to ride coach to go to these games. And remember, such a quick, I don't remember this true or not. I think the women had to pay for their own plane tickets. I could be wrong on that. I don't know. But either way, whether they had to pay for their own plane tickets or not, it's all still ridiculous. And it took Caitlyn Clark to say something for the WNBA to say, okay, we're gonna give them own private jets. We're gonna give their own private planes. You know, like, so you got that going on. More advertisement coming to the game. People are now watching the game more. People are now going to the games more, especially when Caitlyn Clark is there. And I'm at the point where I'm like, yo, I kind of want to go to an Indiana Fever game to watch Caitlyn Clark play, because we don't have the WNBA in Detroit because they took the shock away, which was lame. But that's another story for another day. But despite that, you got all these women hating on Caitlyn Clark, and I'm like, why? It's crazy. And then now it's talking about, oh well, and most of them are black women. So now you got shows like The View who are like getting into this as well. So oh well, yeah, it's good that Caitlyn Clark bringing all this stuff to the game, but at the same time, she's doing it because one, she's right. Two, she got like a cute factor, and I'm like, bruh. Just be grateful y'all getting the attention. Be grateful that everything is coming in for the league, which is what we wanted for a while. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. Prior to this year, the WNBA product had not been good. Like, let's be honest, the WNBA had not been good. Has it been improving over the past few years before Caitlyn Clark? Yeah, but has it been improving to the point where people are going, oh my gosh, like, look at this attendance record? No. But when Caitlyn Clark showed up, guess what? That attendance record going for the roof. You know, jersey sales going for the roof. Sponsor deals going for the roof. You know, revenue coming in going for the roof. All because of the likes of Caitlyn Clark entering the league. And it's like, at this point, it shouldn't matter who's responsible for it. Just be grateful that it's happening. Just be grateful that it's happening, and hopefully that it could continue to grow. So I'm like, I don't understand what the hate for. Like, what's the hate for? Like, it makes no sense to me. And you know, it's just, to me, it's just petty. It's just straight up petty. So that's my thoughts on that. Now I'm a call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.